Hello everyone, this is Concho from Concho Sewing and welcome back to another edition of DIY sewing. In this video tutorial I'll be showing you how to sew a fanny pack. There are a lot of different models out there. This is my kind of simplistic version of it. There's a lot of variation you can do with this. You can play around with designing it. I made this simple one so you can see how it's made. After that maybe I will make a bit complicated one and I will show you how it looks like. So for this one we have a simple design. We have a one major compartment with double zippers. It has as you can see, there's a lot of space, maybe 2 liters. There's a pocket. There's a pocket inside. There's a front compartment. There's a smaller pocket inside, as you can see. 2 flaps on the sides. Attachment system here. We have a Velcro on the front and some pulse webbing, single pulse webbing on the front to attaching random stuff. So let's start sewing. Alright, so first off, materials you will be needing for this is some type of canvas. I'll tell you the measures of this afterwards. Some type of mesh for the inner pocket, as you can see. Same color or different color of top and bottom sides. I chose black one because it will be a nice contrast to the yellow one. Some 5mm zipper, coiled zipper, few zipper heads, and webbing. This is 25mm or 2.5 centimeter webbing, standard black nylon webbing, and some canvas also in black for the flaps on the side of the pouch. Now the measurements is 15 centimeters by 25, so you will need 3 sets of those, and the mesh should be the same size. Also note that I have a centimeter and a half around the edges, and the mesh should be approximately the same as that part of canvas. Okay, so the top side is 8 centimeters wide and 33 centimeters in length. Bottom part is 8 centimeters wide and 49 centimeters long. Keep in mind that it's better to have it few centimeters longer, even 5, so you can cut off the excess canvas. Better to be longer than shorter, because you can cut off the excess canvas, rather than shorter you can't add more. So that's some 49 centimeters long. And for the flaps should be a rectangle shape. It's not actual rectangle, but it's that kind of shape, as you can see. So it's 10 centimeters by 11 centimeters by 3 centimeters and by 8 centimeters. And also you will need a this is a YKK 25mm plastic buckle and some elastic webbing. Okay, so let's start with sewing the front pocket. front pocket and the front side of this pouch. Okay, so first things first, let's give our bag some style with curved shape of the pouch. I have a video tutorial about how to do this and how to sew these curved shapes. I will post the link in the description. Okay, so let's add all 4 of these. After we've done that, next thing is to add find middle points. So 25 is 12.5 centimeters for top and bottom. And since I've calculated where the zipper is going to be, I determined it's going to be 4 centimeters from the top. So 4 centimeters from the top. And by these measurements I calculated the top and bottom side of the pouch. Now let me explain this a bit further. So as you can see, we have a 25 centimeters by 15 centimeters rectangle, and we have 4 centimeters from the top. So this is the line where our zipper part is going, our top part, and this is the bottom part. So calculating the sides on the top, we have 33 centimeters and 49 centimeters. I added 1 centimeter. You can add 1 or few centimeters more just to be sure, because you don't want to be lacking the canvas to sew the pouch together when you get to this point. So add few centimeters more. So yeah, that's the idea. Okay, continuing on. Now we are going to draw a line where we mark 4 centimeter points on both sides, and now we want to add a middle point below that line. I'll lightly draw a line here. This is my middle line here. I'm going to add a velcro that's going to go all the way across, and in the middle I'm going to place a velcro and a logo. Also below that I'm going to add a webbing for the pulse webbing, which will go beneath it. One section should be okay. Okay, now let's sew the zipper on. Okay, I have another video tutorial on how to do this. We'll also post a link in the description on how to sew a zipper pocket. So with the top part we are going to fold 1.5 centimeters of canvas, like so. Place that under a sewing foot and use that part of the sewing foot as a distance from the zipper and canvas. Now let's sew the zipper. Leave few centimeters away from the canvas. Now align this part of the foot with this part of the canvas. now you should get something like this. And now repeat the process for the other side as well. Okay, now that looks pretty and clean. Now onto the next part. We're going to add a zipper head to this. You can pick sides from which side you want to close the pouch, or you can add two of those for each. I tend to use only one because this is just a second pocket, which doesn't need to have two of these, but it's your choice. I will be adding two of these on the main pocket. Okay, so split the zipper, the coiled zipper, just not all the way. Now place the zipper head. I'll try to align it. First add one part of the teeth and then add another part, and try to have them equally inside, because you don't want one side bulging more than the other. And you also want to have these lines adjusted correctly. It's a bit tricky business until you get the hang of it. Okay, so the alignment is okay. We don't have much bulging here, which is also okay. Now let's sew both sides to close the zipper. Just a regular stitch. That will do. On both sides. Before we proceed, alright, next thing is adding I call these pull tabs, which help hold the pouch in place while you pull the zipper. So cut 9 centimeters. And you will need 4 of those. And you'll see why in just a second. So use the same measure. Hold them to their half point and use the lighter to stop them from flaying. Okay, now we have 4 of these, and for now you will need just 2. You want this point pointing towards the inside of of the pocket. So if you're watching when you're looking at the pouch, you want this curvy side pointing towards the inside. Also use a regular stitch. One should do it. Its job is to hold it in place until you sew the pouch together. Okay, now we can cut off the excess zipper. That's more like it. Now it's beginning to take shape. Okay, now you'll just need to handle it and be careful not to sew it over. Just remove it like so. Just move it with your hand. And try to sew over the second stitch. Okay, now for the logo. Find the middle point of your logo. Place it like so. By the way, you can sew the male part of the Velcro and just use it as a patch, but I'm opting for sewing it here and leaving the rest of it for the user to have a place for the morale patches and whatnot. Okay, logo is done. Now for that webbing. It should go something like this. Okay, now let's just adjust the ends to stop it from doing this. Now, before we continue, we need to determine where the webbing is going to go. I would have it go somewhere in the middle like this, and that should be some 2 centimeters from the bottom. So mark 2 centimeters from both sides. And now find the middle point of your webbing. Use the chalk to mark it. Now I want you to align the middle point of the webbing with the middle point of the main pocket and sew the ends. Sew the ends to hold it in place. Just a regular stitch. Do the job to hold it. Okay. Next thing, add a line every 4 centimeters. That's 2 lines from each side. starting from the middle. It should look something like this. Pretty neat. And now for that pocket. You want to place those, shall we say, wrong sides facing each other. And you can use some of these clippers to hold it in place. Align it as much as you can. Now, before we start sewing, because the type of my machine, it has only one system of pulling the fabric, and that's the teeth underneath the sewing foot, and it tends to warp my canvas. If you have this kind of machine, you would do well to sew the points of canvas first. For example, middle points here. It should help stop the warping of the canvases. So let's do a small stitch here, then go to the bottom and do the same. Actually, let's do that on all four sides. Okay. Right, and now that should keep it in place. And we want to sew, let's follow the line that we have already marked. Now you can see this bulging like a wave. That's because you have only one system of pulling the canvas, which is from underneath, and the top side, which is our sewing foot, is pushing the canvas towards towards the other end, and that makes it warp. And that can really ruin your day. Okay, now let's see what we have got. Now that's a nice pocket right there. For some essentials, we have some webbing here, which can be used for clipping some stuff to hang. That's our front pocket. Now let's go to the back side. Now let's sew that top part, which is the zipper. Let's find the middle points on the sides, because it's a 8 centimeter wide canvas. That's 4 centimeters in the middle. Draw the line. cut it in half. Fold some 1 centimeter of canvas. And repeat the process from earlier. Okay, this is our top part. Now let's add those zipper heads. Slide one side a bit, then add the other, and try to align those so there is no bulging. And also, important stuff, this part needs to face towards the inside, and the other part needs to do the same, so they meet like this, both facing each other. Face head going in. And you should get something like this. Now let's close the loop. Now remember, when you made 4 of these, 2 of those went to the main pocket and the other 2 are going on this. Also we have 2 of these which are going on the zipper heads. Now let's sew these pull tabs on. Find the middle, place it down, and sew over it. Be careful not to break your needle. Alright, now this is our top pocket, this is our top side, it has those pull tabs. Now, onto the back side. Now for the back side, we want to make a pocket. First off, we need to find the pocket with some elastic tape and have some velcro in the middle. Let's first sew the front side. Let's first sew on the top side of the pocket. So fold it maybe a centimeter or so, like this, and sew over it. Okay, so next thing, we need to have exact same measurements, markings on the top side and on the right face and the wrong face. So as you can see, this is kind of visible from both sides. I'm just going to mark the points. If you're using the canvas, which you're not able to see through the light, you can just apply the pressure, and you should be able to see the small indent on the other side, and that should be your point. Now let's just connect those. Middle points as well. Now this is the part where you want to determine how deep the pocket should be. Whether it should be all the way up or down to the middle, but I recommend something in between the middle and all the way to the top. Let's make it 3 centimeters from the top on both sides. That should be quite enough. Now before we start sewing the pocket, we need to sew the Velcro exactly in the middle point on the back side and on the pocket side. So let's draw a line from the middle, 3 centimeters from the top. This is a 2 centimeter by 4 centimeter Velcro. You can use whatever you like. You can use measurements whichever suit you the most, but keep in mind that you don't want very strong Velcro for this pocket, because it will be a pain to close it and open it. Okay, so let's just sew this. Use a box shaped stick. Okay, now keep in mind that this is going to be visible on the back side. You have few options. One option is not to sew the Velcro and not have that option. Other option is to sew another canvas on top of this to hide it, or maybe some padding on the back to cover this, but this is just a demonstration, and I'm giving you the ideas what you can do. Okay, now for the pocket, we want to fold it in half, like so, and that should give us exact middle point. Let's just mark it, and this should go like this. But before we start sewing, I'm going to use this 3 centimeter elastic tape to bind the pocket, but I'm not going to use exact measure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use 3 or 4 centimeters less than exact length of the pocket, which will make it close on itself. It will have that elastic feature on it. Keep in mind that the less elastic tape you use, it's going to have that more of that closing feel, and it tends to really close it, like so. I'm going to show you in a second. So, a few centimeters off, 3 or 4, that should be enough. So what I'm doing now, I'm wrapping the elastic tape over the pocket like this, and I want to find this middle point to be exactly on the edge here. So and as I'm sewing, I'm going to keep doing that. Few stitches in to keep it in place. And now I want to slightly, as I'm sewing, I want to slightly pull this elastic tape. I don't want to pull it too much, just slightly, to have that elastic feature on it. So you can see how much I need to pull it towards the end. Pull it toward the end like so, and sew over it. Now you can see it has kinda started to pull it towards the tape wants to go back to its original length, and that's the feature we want, like this. Alright, next thing on the list is sewing the Velcro in the middle, but before we do that, we want to add some webbing, so we have something to pull on to. So, webbing in, and after that we are going with Velcro. But let's first find our middle point again. Mark it with chalk because we have the black canvas. So webbing first, Velcro second, and sew a box shaped stitch over it. Not on the top of it, but somewhere down like this in the middle. Okay, now that we have our Velcro, let's place it exactly where it should be, and that should give us our pocket position. Now you can see that we have more than we need, and we are going to use it to make the pocket a bit bigger, and I'm going to show you how we are going to do it. We're going to pull the bottom end to match the bottom end of the canvas, back side of the canvas, and some 2 centimeters from the bottom you're going to make a fold like so. Let me show you again. So keeping the line of the Velcro, we're going to push from the bottom to match the back side canvas with the pocket, and we're going to push the top side, and some 2 centimeters from the bottom we're going to make a fold like this, and just press over it like so. And now you're going to sew a straight stitch over it. Let's repeat that for the other side. So, following the straight line here, now you can see that we're missing some centimeter maybe, and that's because we have now elastic ability in this pocket. We're going to pull it towards the side here, start sewing, and from the other side where you sew on that fold, you're going to use the exact same thing, exact same measure, matching the backside canvas with the pocket here, and some 2 centimeters from the top you're going to make a fold like so and make it even. And now we want to sew another stitch here. And now we have a pocket with a Velcro. And it has plenty of room, as you can see here. I'm going to eventually do a tutorial on these. There are a few variants of these, how you can make a pocket, and I'm going to try and cover all of those. Now we have our pocket. Next thing to do is side flaps. Now we have these kind of triangle shaped side flaps. You want to match those, right sides facing outwards, so you can place both of these to whichever side, it doesn't matter. They're meant to be like this. These sides are going away. This is the place where you will need this buckle, and you will need some webbing. Alright everyone, so this is the end of part 1. Since this video is very long, 1 hour and 20 minutes, I decided to make it in 2 parts, so this will be the end of part 1. So tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this? Subscribe, share, follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter for more. Also, in the next video I will be explaining some of the mishaps I had. I seem to forgot to press record while I was sewing, so it's only a minor detail. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.